Okay, good morning to each and everyone. How are you today? I hope you're fine. Before we start our discussion, we must have a prayer. Then after that, we will be checking your attendance. So please lead Miss Necesito. Okay, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So I will be checking your attendance. Just say present if you are here. Okay. Miss Santiago. Okay. Miss De La Cruz. And Miss De La Peña. Okay. For this discussion, I will be going to explain to you what is the Philippine media-based arts in terms of digital media. Before we begin our discussion, we must have the learning objectives that we need to accomplish in this today's discussion. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to describe the digital media and its usage in the Philippine arts. Second, to rationalize the impact of digital media to the lives of the Filipino. And lastly, to identify the characteristic of digital media. I also included here the pattern and our flow in this today's discussion. So first, I will going to introduce myself to you class. And the second one, we have the to define what is digital media in the broad term. The second one, the third one, I mean, is to rationalize the impact of digital media in the Philippine arts. The next one, we have the characteristics of Philippine digital media. And lastly, I will going to assess you through through our false quiz or trivia quiz. Okay, are we guys understood? Okay. Before I will begin the discussion, I will introduce myself to you. Um, I am Maui Andre A. Pevida, a second year Bachelor of Physical Education student. Um, I also live in Purok Libra, Tambongolasang, Davao City. And other informations regarding to my personal background, I already highlighted in the presentation. So if you have some queries or concerns about your progress in the subject, just contact me through Facebook, Messenger, or even the email address and the contact number. I hope that you're fine. Okay. At this juncture, I will going to discuss about what is digital media. But before that, I will going to ask some of you about your insights and background knowledge about digital media. Okay, so can any one of you can describe in their own words about what is digital media? Okay, someone's raising their hand. I guess Miss Santiago. Okay, you're acknowledged. Okay, very good. How about the others? Okay, I guess there's none. So your answer, Miss Santiago, is actually correct. It is a term that has inclusion or somehow there's a connection between the technology. According to the definition presented, unlike traditional media, digital media is transmitted as digital data, which at its simplest involves digital cables or satellites sending binary signals. So if we are able to compare in traditional method of media, it is somehow a difference. Why? It is because in traditional media, magkakaiba yung kanilang approaches when it comes to sending their information. But in terms of digital media, we have here the digital data. So it has somehow a utmost rule of how the information could be transmitted in other files or other data. So if you are a person who wanted to transfer their files in their respective USBs or file storage or other methods that you can able to sense that there is a transmission of information, so probably that the digital data is the one who make this responsible. So it was already highlighted the possible devices that could be able to equip with the digital data. We have here the audio, video, graphics, text, and more, but also video, articles, advertisement, music, and other portions. It is also part of its process. So take a glimpse that when the internet went from the nice hobby that somehow it has commonalities with our respective homes. Parang it's already a culture. So in that sense, that the digital age is already fully underwear. Now, most people walk around with at least one digital media device in their pocket, purse, or backpack. So there's actually a usage of digital communication with in terms of their work and their transportation, and also when they wanted to be to dine in a certain restaurant or shopping. So after that, they might come home and play video games or stream a show, and somehow there's a interaction of digital media. And take also an example that if a person wanted to sleep, so in that sense, they might talk to their digital home assistant, such as Google, di ba? I think that every one of us could able to experience that when we are something that has curiosity or we wanted to ask something, we just rely to the Google through Google Assistant. So they might assist us on how to get that certain information. So in that sense, we can able to find out what are the possible weather forecasts in the following days. And to sum it up with that kind of context, what is the real definition of digital media here? So to answer with that question, there is no specific simple answer with that, because if you are able to define digital media, it has a lot of process. So it means to say it is somehow a difficult part because it is rapidly evolving alongside with innovation with other technological innovations, and also how people can interact with it. So as we move in the future, so our day-to-day use of digital media will likely only increase, particularly as holographic or somehow there's an artificial intelligence technologies are able to be developed and incorporated with our everyday daily lives. So in that sense, we can able to define that digital media has a bigger rules within the everyday culture. Kasi we are already part in the 21st century where people tend to occupy in the technological innovations. So to sum it up, the term of digital media is actually a type of media that has inclusion with technology so that the people has easier access in terms of how they are or how they will equip their exigencies. Okay? Since we discussed the broad term of digital media and its usage, at this juncture we are going to dig more about the impact of digital media here in the national context, particularly the Philippine arts. Due to easy access of information using modern technology, digital media is usually used rather than print media such as ebooks, internet, and other similar online reading materials. So we already been assessed ourselves that modern technology has a vital role of the implementation of digital media. And as part of the society in the 21st century, we're already been equipped with various technological interventions, and digital media is part of its implementation. So we already been exposed how the process are been going through and how we people get to be utilized to its process. And according to some researches that most of the people are predominantly use digital media. Okay, so I already highlighted the example. So this is actually a Filipino company who wanted to, to really show the creativeness in writing skills. So we have here the Wattpad stories, and I know some of you already know about this kind of evolution. So Wattpad, in a definition way, it is a social storytelling platform where users connect with their favorite writers, and like it enables the viewers to read and write with their original composition of stories. So I know some of you already been experienced about how we are going to write a love story na mismo yung Wattpad stories ang nag-uumpisa. So parang there's a distinct influential figure yung mga writers that that viewers can able to be attracted, and they wanted also to write their own creative stories, di ba? Through with that kind of conduction, we already have that such certain development, particularly in our writing skills. And we can able to sense with that certain example that digital media arts combines technology and art in a creative way. So it is also um, one of its way that artists can help us to visualize and understand the world in a completely digital environment. Kasi if we putting in the context that we are utilizing the traditional way, what will be the essence of the digital media here? So, di ba, parang mawawala yung presence niya. So that is why some of the artists, they tend to design and create such as the graphic content, audiovisual content, and interactive web content. In this way, artists can easily produce and distribute their respective artworks in a fastest and wider audience with the aid of modern technology. So since we are in the era where everything is online, um, everything that we're going to do is already being connected with internet. So audience can easily access and appreciate the arts made by the artists. So basically, the main idea about the impact of digital media here in the Philippine arts is that in terms of its usage talaga, kung dyan tayo magbabase, there's a pretty chances that we have its higher eligibility of usage. And it is also a way, or it is also a method that other artists could able to show their creativeness on how they are going to compose their artworks so that the audience can able to view, since in this pandemic we are equipped with online. So parang there's a fastest movement on how we can transmit our artworks to the presence of digital platforms. Okay, we are also been expounding the characteristics of Philippine digital media. The first bullet says that it exchanges information in a wide range of digital platforms. Sound, images, text, and videos are all available in digital format for use in a computer, tablet, Android phones, and other similar devices. As what I've been mentioned earlier about the transmission of information, there's somehow a relevance with this kind of context. Kasi if you're putting in an example that you wanted to create a video and you will upload it in the YouTube, so you're already been exposing with already that the transmission of information. Kasi once you already been clicked to upload that certain video, other people will tend to know about your creation, about your videos, diba? So predominantly, people have a privilege. They have an authority to really to showcase their respective outputs, or kung hindi man ito outputs, a certain information that that you can able to upload it through various digital platforms. So if you wanted to send it in a file, so we have the Google Drive, or so you can send them through email, or for about the pictures, we have the gallery. And also, if you wanted to really show your expression for today, so we have a various social media platforms that you are already be showcase your your daily life routine. So the main idea about this context is we as people, we have an authority to really to exchange the information, or simply the transmission of information through the usage of various digital formats. The second bullet states that it is a mixture of entertainment, illustration, or communication purposes. So this characteristic is highly observed in the context of digital media and in our part as also. So I know that we already been experiences with those. So if we're putting an example in the entertainment, like if we are wanted to watch a movie, there's a lot of ways that we can already been acquired with that certain example. So we have Netflix, di ba? We have television if TV series ang hinahanap. And also for the communication, we have also some applications that we can able to call a certain person or a certain friend na we just wanted to rely those information that is very important. For example, Messenger, we can able to video call with our friends, with our families regarding with our situation. And speaking aside, it is we are in the pandemic. Diba? As I've been said, every day we are kept relying with online. And also with the illustration, diba? Artists is already been utilizing the usage of technological innovation. So as we've been visually seen in this today's generation, there's a lot of artworks that is highly connected with technology. Iba't iba lang yung paraan ng kanilang ginagamit, so that that it has already been to take part of its evolutionary process. But this kind of context is actually merely connected with our experiences as a people in the modern society, di ba? I know that you're already connected, di ba? Yes. Okay. We have also here that it is also an accessible storage for preservation. So I highlighted the word hard drives and flash storage. So the main idealism of this context is all about their responsibilities talaga. So if we are the person who wanted to put all of our files in a permanent storage, so this kind of devices would help you to really cater with that kind of solution. So the possibilities of advantages of having storage devices is you are not being able to have a risk damages of the data, lalo na pag pinag-uusapan na yung software attacks, yung malware threats, pati na yung treatment ng mga virus ng mga laptops natin. So with that kind of way, this will misallow us to be treated with those negative factors. But the main prospect of this context is this will be the digital media has already put preservation of our files din. Hindi lang siya for the purpose of entertainment, for the purpose of exchanging of information, but it is also lead our files to be stored in a permanently storage. The other bullet, I mean, it says that it can be easily distributed and accessed. So the main process of its idea is about transferring our files to one place to another. So for example, if we wanted to place our pictures in the internet, so there's a Google Drive that pwede natin puntahan and to put all of our important photos that will enable us to send it in a certain person or a certain account. So parang yung main process or the main prospect of this kind of intervention is that there will be an easier access for us users to be utilizing. Lalo na't pag ginagamit natin yung mga digital storage mediums, madali na natin siyang i-access, and also to really put all of our files in just a glimpse of the internet. Other factors also says that it is also a user-friendly. Hindi ibig sabihin pag digital media, only those ICT workers lang yung mga privileged lang na to utilize with the concept of that. But any one of us could really be utilizing with this kind of basic manners or conductions. So here, digital media can be easily manipulated by anyone with the necessary skills. Kung ano man yung skills na gusto natin i-showcase, digital media could also be put you in a directive way so that it could be parang it has an appropriateness na makikita sa mga audience. So for example, if you wanted to really improve your photos, we have a lot of intervention that you are been going through by if there's some disturbances sa mga images natin, we just simply editing it, or we can resize it or crop it, diba? So that it makes the pictures really pleasant with this kind of context. Lastly, it is low cost. Low cost in a sense of time distribution. So it has been said that easy distribution of media via the internet has also made it able to reach a wider audience for less cost in the distribution in terms of postage and labor costs, etc. So, ang pinag-uusapan dito is your working responsibilities, yung para yung consumption of time yung minamanage dito. Kasi if you're able to connect it in traditional method, there's a lot of process that you have been going through that is very difficult to your part. Kasi it takes a lot of time to really measure your skills so that may finished product na magagawa natin. So in short, malaki ang gap ng time consumption when we are been using a traditional method. But here in digital media, through just a glimpse of internet, there's a lot of access that you can, to see your time consumption to be less. And social media provides a good medium of advertising, allowing content to reach many different types of people worldwide. Hindi ibig sabihin pag advertisement, it is just simply a post of billboards or just showing a products na makikita natin sa paligid, but social media plays a very important role for advertising. Lalo na pag meron mga contents that is not connected with the common products or simply just located in a local products lang. So it allows small businesses to really take a privilege to know their businesses with the audience. Because it is also a method for them to really acquire or to be interact with their customers, lalo na pag-uusapang entrepreneurship. Advertisement is really important, and social media is a directive way for them to be able to know their products and to really measure the people's taste. So in short, yung main idea about this concept is already been in a measure of time consumption that is really has a low cost. At this moment, we already ended our discussion. May I ask if you have some concerns or questions regarding for our discussion? If there's none, we will going to have a short quiz. Before we begin our quiz, I will just state the main instructions para magkaintindihan po tayo. So simply you just put your answers in the chat box, and each questions only has one correct answer. So it means to say, pag mali yung answers nyo, your points will be deducted. So it will only consist with 3 questions. So correct answers will have a 5 points. If your answer is wrong, you will automatically landed into 2 points. So the total points could be 15. Okay, so I hope that you are ready, and this will be a measure for you if you are been listening or not. Okay, so at this juncture, we will going to start our quiz. Okay, question number 1. Digital media is stored on technical storage devices such as containers and other file storage. Again, digital media is stored on technical storage devices such as containers and other file storage. True or false? Question number 2. Digital media is a mixture of entertainment, illustration, or communication purposes. Again, digital media is a mixture of entertainment, illustration, or communication purposes. True or false? Again, please type your answers in the chat box so that we are able to see that you've been answering or not. Okay, very good. Madami nag-answer. Lastly, number 3. Okay, due to easy access of information using traditional technology, digital media is not usually used rather than print media. Again, due to easy access of information using traditional technology, digital media is not usually used rather than print media. Just state true or false. Okay, the quiz will be closed in 3, 2, 1. Time is up. Every one of you could stop answering right now. If there's a student answering after that I say time is up, automatically hindi na po counted yung scores niyo po. Okay, at this moment, we will going to see if your answer is correct or not. But simply put your scores in the group chat so that I will be recorded. The answer of question number 1 is false. Okay. For number 2, the answer is true. Okay. Lastly, the question number 3, the answer is false. Kasi ang sinasabi is traditional technology, that ang tamang term po dito is modern technology po. Okay? So please put your scores in the chat box so that I will be recorded. Okay? I already appreciate those students who got perfect scores. Pero may iba na they just gain passing scores, but medyo tagilid yung mga ibang students kasi hindi talaga nakapasa. So I hope that for those students na hindi nakapasa, just make bawi in other quizzes. Okay? All right. That is the end of our discussion. I hope that you learned something, and thank you for attending this session. Again, I am Maui under A. Pevida saying that hoping you have a good time and ingat po kayong lahat.